Welcome to Ithaca Politics. Today's show, in honor of Election Day, will look at the not-so-serious side of Ithaca's political life. Prior to any lawsuits, we thank everyone for being good sports. In a shocking turn of events, Cornell is suing the city of Ithaca for defamation, citing recent language used by city officials such as, quote, Cornell is holding us hostage, quote, putting a foot to our necks, quote, Cornell manipulated and played this city. So Cornell is claiming that their reputation was irreparably harmed and is seeking damages of $4 million per year for 15 years. The lead attorney for Cornell, who initiated this lawsuit, joins us now. Mr. Goat, you claim irreparable harm from comments made by council members. Isn't this really just a matter of sticks and stones?
First of all, pal, you see these horns? Ram, not a goat. And to answer your question, not at all. We take our reputation very seriously. Fortunes can rise and fall on a few chosen insults.
You're really concerned that your $10 billion endowment may take a hit.
Well, of course we are. You see, trustees are already scaling back plans for endowing the buildings, and they're citing shame of being affiliated with Cornell.
Isn't the shame really how Cornell actually treated the city in this last negotiation?
We negotiated in a very cautious, measured fashion, befitting a great institution like Cornell.
Honestly, others would say that you were being quite goat-headed. But let's get back to the lawsuit. Now, many members of the Cornell community came out with much stronger language than any city official. Doesn't that actually hurt your case?
No, not at all. You see, Cornell is a very liberal institution. We are really a large family. And every family, well, has its disagreements. However, we are attacked beyond our gates. We will butt heads.
The damages you are seeking, $4 million a year for 15 years, that does have a familiar ring to it.
Yes, negotiated contribution of Cornell to Ithaca would be rescinded entirely. That is what we are ultimately seeking. It's time to cut our ties with the city of Ithaca. Really. In the end, we should both go our separate ways, peacefully, of course.
What has the city's response been to the lawsuit?
That's the best part, you see. Ithaca cannot litigate against Cornell. It's written right into this latest agreement.
The city is defenseless in this action?
And who's the goat now?
It's been a long road for the city to transition to a city administrator who will be taking over many of the mayoral responsibilities. Now, the city has hired a consultant to lead the job search, so the consultant has joined us today and will give us an update. Welcome.
Thank you, Tom.
So please, first tell us how you became a consultant for the city and how you designed a search for this important position.
Well, I answered a Craigslist ad, Tom. And also, I think I was the only applicant who said that they would accept their pay in Ithaca hours.
Well, I could see the Craigslist, but honestly, Ithaca Hours has been a little bit out of it for about 10 years. I believe you're being a little bit scammed by the city here.
We'll see.
But anyway, tell us, what's the latest? How's the search going?
The search is actually going great. We've actually found a candidate already.
That is good news. That is good news. What can you tell us about them?
I can do even better than that. The candidate is actually here, and if you're interested, I can bring them out and you can meet them yourself.
That would be perfect. Please, go ahead.
All right, give me just 1 second.
Well, this is a first for Ithaca Politics. We will be seeing this city administrator before anybody else, and I look forward to seeing what this person's all about. So I take it the candidate didn't show up after all.
No. It's me.
Are you sure you can nominate yourself city administrator? Is that in your contract?
Well, there's nowhere in the contract where it says I can't.
Honestly, you were tasked with doing a countrywide search for a city administrator for Ithaca.
Yes, Tom.
Have you done that?
Yes, we did an extensive nationwide search, and what the feedback we got from everybody we spoke to was that running a city such as Ithaca is a piece of cake, but $50,000 as a salary was just way too low.
No, wait. The city agreed to raise that ceiling to $185,000 per year based on your recommendation.
Yes, but that was only after everybody else said no.
So $180,000 is in your comfort zone.
Oh, yes, but don't worry. I wouldn't take a penny more.
Honestly, it's hard to believe we just don't have a larger pool of candidates than just yourself.
Oh, no, there are other candidates, and one of the other candidates is actually here as well. Would you like to meet them?
Sure. Bring them out.
All right, just 1 second.
I'll tell you, I don't know. Is this the city operation as usual? Okay, so you are the runner-up as well. Tell me, what distinguishes the first choice from the second choice?
Besides my glasses, the second choice will also take the job for a little less money, but I will need a car and a house, preferably a Tesla and a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house on the eastern side of the lake.
Well, all I can say is that with 8 weeks left before the city administrator is supposed to be taking the job, you, sir, appear to have the city over a barrel.
This is a college town. I learned from the best.
Now, a word from our sponsor.
Time to get up. My favorite show is on.
Welcome to Ithaca Politics. The latest resolution before council regarding homeless encampment in the jungle essentially removes the language of enforcement of unhoused people sleeping in public places.
Yeah.
So how would you respond if we have an individual that is sleeping in a Seneca Street bus shelter and he won't accept kind of the nudges from the outreach workers to...
Whoa. They talking about me?
I think the idea of an outreach worker encouraging someone to go live in the jungle is terrifying. And
He's not kidding. Since the city took it over, the place has gone to hell.
What you have done is highlight the gap that is existing in the current policy.
Lady, I've been a gap in the policy since I was 7 years old.
So, like, if the question is, should we do nothing or should we do something? The first question would be, why are they not allowed into the shelter? And I assume, do you know why?
The guy asked a lot of questions. Must be a social worker.
All you can really do is be an aid to that person and really just try to advocate for them and be the person to hold their hand step by step.
We have to act in a way that matches our values as a city, of our values as a community. I think we can all agree that those values don't endorse locking someone in jail over sleeping in the Seneca Street garage.
We will find someone who's willing to support a person who needs housing for the night or a few days, and people will donate to make that happen.
I didn't know so many people were looking out for me. Makes me sleep easier.
Ithaca Politics. Don't leave home without it. Stung by criticism that they are out of touch, many Common Council members are going to engage in a fact-finding mission in the encampment known as the Jungle. With us is Council Member Walsh, who will tell us a little bit more about the plan. Welcome, Council Member. Have a seat. Yeah, put that microphone right on there, and we'd be glad to hear all about this venture. Okay, so what exactly is a fact-finding mission in the jungle?
Yes, well, many of us on council realize that we're making policy in an area of which we have little expertise, so we're going to go out and get some lived experience to help bring us along.
Okay. Well, I see by your little rolling case there, you plan to spend some time out there.
Yes. Well, honestly, I haven't camped since I was a little kid, but look what I found. My very first tent that I used to sleep in my folks' backyard. This baby right here. And a fishing pole, of course. Yeah, I hear there's great fishing on the other side of the railroad tracks.
Well, sir, I would be a little bit leery of the inlet there. The fish have been known to be a bit contaminated coming out of there.
Oh, well, then I'll use it as a bonding experience with my fellow jungle mates. I feel that you can really get to know somebody with sitting for hours on the bank, just us and the fishing line.
Something kind of like a Tom Sawyer experience, I take it. Okay. In terms of cooking, I mean, are you kind of experienced in cooking outdoors? Oh, sterno. You're going to be using a little sterno, I see. Not a campfire for you?
Oh, no. From what I understand, campfires are illegal on city property, and I, as a council member, really should be setting an example for everyone to follow the rule of law.
Okay. Well, also joining us is a consultant that the city hired for the council members to prepare themselves better for homelessness. And welcome our next guest, Ichabod. Have a seat.
Rule of law, you say? You say rule of law?
Yes.
Well, that's why we're out there. We don't like rule of law. Or excuse me. And what's this fishing on the bank? What, like a trust company or something you talk about? You guys up on the hill there?
Well,
sorry.
Ichabod, tell us a little bit about why the city chose you as the consultant and a little bit about your experience.
Well, I actually approached the city. I said, I think some of y'all folks with the suits and ties, you ought to come on down there and see what it's like. See what, the people are actually nice. They help each other out if they don't take things from each other, that sort of thing every once in a while. But, share and share alike. And yeah, it'd be a good idea. And we're looking for some alternatives as well.
Councilmember Walsh showed us a few things. How well prepared do you think he is?
Well, where's that tent you had there? We can bring that up right here. Now, you say you use this as a kid?
Yeah.
You use this as a kid? You were, what, 6 years old or something? You ain't going to fit in that tent. You ain't going to fit in that tent. You may have a lot of problems when you think you're going to fit in that tent. I'll show you what you need. You need yourself a tarp, and you need yourself some rope, and some pots and pans, and all this.
Oh my God, that smells.
Well, you know what? You're going to smell when you're out there, and if you smell like cologne, you're not going to get along with the folks out there. They have natural born stink, and so and also for a sleeping bag, we got a good sleeping bag we liberated from Walmart, and yeah. And it was a little used, and it went through a couple winters, but I think it'd keep you warm. And big enough for your big frame. You guys up on the hill, you put on a few pounds. So.
Honestly, I see a little bit of tension here between yourself as a consultant and possibly the council members. Really, is there any light at the end of the tunnel for people that are homeless?
Well, for every council person going into the jungle, there will be a jungle resident that will take temporary leave and move into a council member's home.
That's kind of what I had in mind.
Really? Whose idea was this?
Yeah, well, we all take a chance, get somewhere you can get a shower and a good meal and a roof over your head instead of a tarp over your head every once in a while. I get tired of that after a while. Some of us got jobs. We go work that job. You come back. Camping ain't a vacation for us. Folks go camping. Oh, let's go camping. I say, you want to live like a migrant laborer for vacation? No, I don't think so. So getting into your house might be really nice. I expect you got a pretty nice house.
Well, I guess with those words.
Yeah, but there's a problem though. It's only going to be like a couple weeks or something,
Weeks?
A month? Okay. But,
days.
Well, I thought you said a month or so. Anyway, and what's your long-term solution for us folks out there? Some of us don't want it, but some of us need it and do. What you going to do? What's that council just going to be on? Go and see what it's like and then go back to your house?
Okay, well, I kind of see there's a little bit of a difference in your guys' approach to this fact-finding mission, but we are a bit out of time. So, Councilmember Walsh, we will be following you, hopefully, and visit you down there in your encampment in the jungle, see how things are going, and I hope, as a consultant, Ichabod, you're going to stay in touch as well.
Well, I look forward to staying in that house, I'll tell you that.
I will bet. In all the attention paid to the Cornell City of Ithaca agreement, a little-known provision has escaped most people's attention. Cornell has agreed to provide $100,000 of professorial service to the city for collaboration on a project yet to be named. With us today is the professor offered up by Cornell. You have requested to have your identity blackened out and your voice changed. Why the precaution?
You see, a security measure is what it is, to ensure any bad blood lingering between the city and Cornell does not interfere with my safety.
Something like witness protection, then?
Right, but I've done nothing wrong, of course.
Well, what are you going to be doing working with the city?
My specialty is municipal real estate and tax abatements.
Fascinating. But you seem quite young. Have you been working in this field for a long time?
No, not so long at Cornell. You see, prior to that, I had tenure at Trump University.
Trump University? Well, how did you find yourself at Cornell?
Well, when Trump University broke up, all the Ivies descended on the fire sale to snatch up whole departments. Cornell got a bunch of us for their real estate divisions.
That must have been some transition from Trump U to Cornell?
Nah. Real estate, it's all cutthroat, no matter where you go. Cornell hides it better than most, you see.
So, what will you be working on for the city?
The tax abatement structure, it's a mess. Absolutely a mess. I'll be cleaning it up myself, you see.
Yes, there is some criticism that luxury developers are being given an easy ride by the city.
The first step is to root out all that criticism. Anybody who disagrees with city policy becomes marginalized.
Well, what will you be cleaning up?
First off, venture capital, it doesn't like this thicket of regulations. I mean, you abate me here, I gotta pay there. It's just, all these limitations, Tom, they have to go.
Suffice to say, you prefer the free market then?
No taxes at all. See, people here, I mean, they should be down on their knees for developers to come in. Otherwise, come on, this town will become another little upstate backwater.
As we speak, I can't help but notice you do sound a bit like Mr. Trump.
Trump, he's a real estate genius. Now, his downfall was he got a taste for the camera. I won't let that happen to me.
Okay, another operator behind the scenes, making life better for us all. I look forward to our first casino. Snow season is soon upon us, and it's that time of year for Public Works to declare they do not have the wherewithal to remove snow from sidewalks and curbs to provide safe pedestrian passage. So, City Council has put out the bid to independent contractors, and we have two of the finalists with us here today. Well, convince us, guys. Who's the best once the snow starts falling to clear the sidewalks?
Well, I'll start. I've got hundreds of kids ready to shovel snow across Ithaca's neighborhoods when I send a simple text.
I don't need any fancy technology like these so-called smartphones. You know, I just get my nose in the air, and if I smell a storm coming, well, I climb up a tree to verify that that's what's coming, and if it does, then I give out the call. I go down to the jungle and other places. I got folks just waiting for work, and I say, get your shovels, get on out, you know where to go.
All my people have the latest technology from NOFA. It has proven 99% accuracy when predicting snowfall for the next 24 hours.
You gotta go look on your phone or computer to tell what the weather is? Come on. It's like that old line, you don't need a weatherman to tell which way the wind blows. I got my arthritis that starts to act up. I said, oh my goodness, pressure must be dropping. I'm gonna go out and see if it's snowing.
If you have arthritis, what makes you the best candidate to be shoveling snow for the city?
Well, I can out-shovel this young whippersnapper in a minute.
Bring it on, old man.
The next time it snows, I'll meet you out there at the end of Green Street.
Okay,
and you just wait for me. I'll show up about 3 hours later.
I'll shovel you into a snowbank.
All right, fellas. Let's kind of get back to business here. Now, you have the contracts in front of you, and obviously the city is looking for the most cost-efficient way to remove snow. So, bottom line, who can do this cheapest?
All my crews are asking for is a livable wage. I've designed the simple payment method that homeowners can contact the city to pay us for our services.
Okay, how do you compete with that?
Well, that's easy. He's got to go through the middleman or woman or whatever it is in the city through this technology, all this stuff. And what we do, our boys and girls, they just go up there and they rap on the door and said, I just shoveled your walk, give me $10, $12, what it is. Now, another thing about this so-called livable wage, suppose you got kids like adults sometimes do, most of the time do actually, and you can't support kids with the so-called livable wage. So we ask what we need.
Well, getting to livable wage, do you think this is just money you're going to be playing with, or are you using it to help support a family?
I'm going to be supporting my mom and dad the best I can with support around the house.
Well, I'm sure you have a good heart that way, but a lot of your friends are just going to buy weed.
Okay. Well, there we have it. It's up to the city to decide, old school or new school. Will the snow be removed this year for our poor walking folks?
What about the rich folks?
The mayor's race in Ithaca, New York has ended in a tie. Both the Republican and Democratic candidates have the same number of votes. In order to spare the county the cost of a runoff election, both candidates have agreed to share the job as mayor. Welcome to you both. So, why exactly did you choose to share the job of mayor?
Well, as you know, there's enough political strife in the world, and we both thought that we could really show that two opposing parties can really run a small town together.
And I wanted to keep an eye on this guy.
I would say it takes a great leap of faith to have both a Republican and a Democrat together. That faith is really not much in supply these days.
Oh, deliberations were no walk in the park. But I listened intently and thought she really had some good ideas.
I trust a Democrat about as far as I can throw him. And by the looks of this guy, that ain't very far.
Did you run this past Common Council, or are you two just going to elope together?
Council can be a bit obstinate, but with more heads in the mix, we can only make good policy, right?
Council? F 'em.
Honestly, you two seem to be a little bit of a different temperament. Are you sure this is really going to work?
You know, I caucused with the Democratic Party, and I showed them that I'm in this for the long haul. And I'll prove it to her, too.
My party backs me 110%. And when this guy caves, we're ready to move in.
We'll leave it there. Somehow, I think these guys are not going to get much of a honeymoon, though, from Common Council.